Let's be honest. Most men are chasing validation from women who wouldn't even look twice if they stopped trying. You think she doesn't see your worth? She does. She just doesn't value it because you haven't mastered the one thing that forces her to. And no, it's not money, looks, or status. It's something far deeper, something that can't be bought, begged for, or faked. See, women can sense a man's energy long before he opens his mouth. They know when a man is centered, when he doesn't need her approval to feel important. And that's where most men fail. They confuse attention with affection and effort with value. You keep proving yourself to her, thinking one more good deed will make her appreciate you. But the truth is, the harder you try to earn her respect, the less she gives it. The world doesn't teach men this. Society tells you to be nice, to please, to always show her you care. But what if I told you that doing less and focusing more on mastering your masculine frame, your emotional control, and your sense of purpose would make her see your worth instantly? Because the moment you stop chasing her validation and start living by your own standard, something shifts. She starts noticing. She starts missing your energy. And that's when she realizes she never really saw your worth until now. 1. Stop proving yourself to women. One of the biggest mistakes men make today is trying to convince a woman to see their value. You buy gifts, you text first, you show constant effort, thinking she'll finally say, "Wow, he's such a great guy." But here's the truth. The moment you start proving your worth, you silently admit you don't believe you have it. Women can feel when you're seeking approval. It's in your tone, your body language, your actions. You might think you're showing love, but what she sees is neediness. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man who needs to be seen to feel valid. You see, real value doesn't scream for attention, it commands it. When you know your worth, you don't have to talk about it. You don't have to chase her recognition. You stand firm in who you are, and that energy speaks louder than any words or gestures. Here's the harsh reality. When you overprove yourself, she stops seeing you as a man of value and starts seeing you as a man who's trying too hard. She begins to lose respect because deep down, women are drawn to certainty, not effort. Certainty in who you are, certainty in what you bring, certainty in the fact that your time and attention are earned, not handed out. And when she feels that you're trying to earn her validation, she subconsciously starts testing you more. She pulls back to see how you'll react. If you chase harder, she knows she has you emotionally, and the respect fades even more. 1. Imagine two men. One constantly compliments her, checks her phone, worries when she doesn't text back. The other is calm, confident, and focused on his goals. He doesn't get emotional over her delays. Guess which one she respects more? The second one, because he's not proving anything. He's already sure of himself. Stop trying to convince her. Start embodying what a valuable man looks like. The kind of man who doesn't explain his worth. He lives it. When you stop proving yourself, you give her space to feel your absence, to notice your strength, to realize she's not the prize. You are. 2. Attention makes you weak. Every time you give away your attention too easily, you give away your power. Most men don't realize this. Attention is a form of currency. The more freely you spend it, the less it's worth. Women notice that. They feel it when your focus is scattered, when you're too available, when you reply in seconds, but she takes hours. You think you're showing interest. She sees a man who has nothing else going on. Attention is only powerful when it's rare. Think about it. If everyone can get it from you, what makes it special when she does? The problem is, many men think giving more attention will create more attraction. But in reality, it does the opposite. The moment she senses that you have no control over your attention, she stops respecting it and stops chasing it. Here's the truth. Your attention tells her how valuable you believe yourself to be. A man who values his time doesn't waste it trying to prove loyalty to someone who hasn't earned it. He chooses where his energy goes, and that choice makes his presence valuable. Women are drawn to men whose focus is not on them 24/7. Why? Because it communicates that he has purpose, goals, and direction. He's not lost in her world. He's building his own. And that's magnetic. When a woman sees that you can pull back, that you can stay calm when she withdraws or tests you, she begins to realize your attention means something. It's not a given, it's a reward. 1. Picture this. Two men are texting the same woman. One keeps double texting, reacting to every story she posts, trying to stay on her radar. The other texts occasionally, always with purpose, never lingering too long. When she sees his name, it hits differently. His attention feels earned. It makes her wonder. That curiosity is what creates attraction, not constant availability. You must understand, attention given too freely becomes noise. Attention given with discipline becomes power. Every message, every look, every moment of silence, it all teaches her how to value your presence. So guard your attention like it's gold. Stop giving it to anyone who hasn't earned it, because the moment you make her work for it, you shift the balance. You go from chasing validation to commanding respect. And that's when she finally starts to feel your worth. 3. Silence is more powerful than words. Sometimes the strongest thing you can say is nothing at all. Most men don't realize how powerful silence is until they use it and see how people react to it. Silence unsettles people because it creates space for reflection. It forces others to sit with their thoughts, their guilt, their curiosity. And when you master silence, you control the room without ever raising your voice. Men who talk too much often give away their strength. They over-explain, over-justify, and over-promise. They think communication always means saying more, but real communication is about presence. You can't command respect with noise, you command it with calm. The more you speak to be understood, the more you expose what's going on inside you. But the man who can stay still, the one who doesn't rush to prove or defend himself, holds all the power. You know that feeling when someone goes quiet after you expect a reaction? That discomfort you feel? That's the same feeling women experience when a man doesn't respond emotionally. It's not arrogance, it's control. It's the ability to stay composed, to not let emotions dictate your actions. And in a world where everyone's shouting for attention, that calmness becomes magnetic. Silence teaches her more about you than words ever could. It shows restraint, discipline, and a sense of inner peace. It shows you're not desperate to be heard. You're comfortable being understood without explanation. Most men ruin their value by talking themselves out of it. They reveal too much too soon, trying to fill the space because they're uncomfortable with quiet. But silence, when used with purpose, builds mystery, and mystery creates respect. Think about how often you've said something you later regretted because you reacted too fast. Silence gives you control over that impulse. It lets you observe, think, and respond from strength rather than emotion. It's what separates a grounded man from an impulsive one. So when she tests you, questions your motives, or tries to pull a reaction, stay calm. Let silence speak for you. Because a man who can remain silent when others expect noise communicates one thing clearly: he's in control of himself. And that control is exactly what earns her respect. Silence doesn't mean weakness. It's the discipline to choose peace over performance. And when you master that, your presence becomes louder than any words could ever be. 4. She respects distance, not desperation. Men need to hear this. Chasing her harder won't make her love you more. It'll only make her lose respect for you faster. The problem today is too many men mistake consistency for clinginess. You think being there all the time shows loyalty, but what it really shows is fear. Fear of losing her. Fear of being alone. Fear that if you step back, she'll forget you. Wake up, man. She won't forget you because you gave her space. She'll forget you because you never gave her a reason to miss you. Distance builds value. Desperation destroys it. When you're constantly available, constantly checking in, constantly trying to prove you care, you remove the one thing that keeps attraction alive: tension. And without that tension, the connection dies. A woman doesn't respect a man who can't walk away. She might enjoy his attention, she might even keep him around, but she won't value him, because deep down, she knows he'll always be there no matter how she treats him. And when there are no consequences, there's no respect. You can't teach her to respect your time if you don't. You can't expect her to value your presence if you're too afraid to withdraw it. The truth is, women start to appreciate you the moment they feel your absence. That's when they realize your attention wasn't guaranteed. It was earned. But here's the uncomfortable truth most men avoid. The reason you struggle with distance is because you tie your worth to her reaction. You panic when she pulls away. You text more. You call more. You beg for clarity. That's desperation, not devotion, and it kills attraction instantly. You need to build enough self-respect to step back when things start feeling one-sided. You need to remind yourself that silence doesn't mean rejection. It means you're giving her space to reflect. Let her come to you. Let her notice the gap your presence used to fill. Because here's the thing, when a woman realizes you can disappear without warning, that you don't beg, that you don't chase, that you can live without her, that's when she starts to truly see your worth. Distance isn't about playing games. It's about protecting your energy. Stop begging to be chosen and start acting like a man who chooses himself first. 5. Emotional control beats physical looks. Every man wants to look good, and that's fine. But if your emotions aren't in check, your looks won't save you. You can be tall, handsome, well-dressed, and still get disrespected, ignored, or replaced. Why? Because emotional control is what separates men who get chosen from men who get forgotten. You see, women are not just attracted to what they see, they're drawn to what they feel when they're around you. A man who can stay calm under pressure, who doesn't react to every mood swing, every test, every cold response, that man becomes magnetic because he represents safety, confidence, and strength. Most men today are emotional roller coasters. One minute they're confident, the next they're insecure. They lose composure the moment things don't go their way. You get ghosted once and suddenly start questioning your worth. You see her online and start spiraling, assuming she's moved on. That's not control, that's chaos. And the truth is harsh. Women can sense that instability instantly. They might find you attractive at first, but the moment they feel that emotional weakness, they pull away. Not because they're cruel, but because they can't trust a man who can't even trust himself. Men, listen carefully. The most dangerous thing you can give a woman is your emotional power. The moment you let her control how you feel, you lose control of everything else. She shouldn't be able to ruin your mood with a single text, a delay, or a "we need to talk." That's too much power to give away. Emotional control means responding, not reacting. It means not letting her words or actions dictate your peace. It means being unshakable, calm when things get messy, composed when things get confusing. That's the kind of energy women respect deeply. And here's the irony. When you stop reacting, she starts chasing. When you stop giving emotional energy to every little thing, she starts to wonder what you're thinking. Your calmness becomes your mystery, and your mystery becomes your power. So stop focusing only on how you look. Start mastering how you feel. Build a mind that doesn't panic when things don't go your way. Because in a world full of impulsive men, the man who controls his emotions controls the outcome. True masculinity isn't in your muscles, it's in your mindset. Control that, and no one can take your power. 6. Never chase. Lead men today have been programmed to chase everything: money, success, women, validation. And while ambition is good, chasing women is where most lose their power. Because when you chase, you instantly place her above you. You tell her without saying a word, you're the prize. And the moment you do that, she starts treating you like a follower instead of a leader. You were never meant to chase, you were meant to lead. Leadership isn't about control or ego, it's about direction, purpose, and confidence. A man who leads doesn't beg for attention. He commands it by the way he moves, thinks, and lives. His life already has meaning, whether she's in it or not, and that's exactly what makes her want to be part of it. The truth is, most men chase because they have no direction. You meet a woman and suddenly your focus shifts entirely to her. You stop working on your goals, you stop growing, and you start orbiting around her life. Then you wonder why she loses interest. Simple, because she can't respect a man who abandons his mission for her approval. When you lead, you make decisions with clarity. You don't ask, "What do you want me to be?" You decide who you are and where you're going. And the right woman naturally follows a man who moves with purpose. Not because you force her to, but because your direction inspires trust. Chasing is emotional, leading is logical, chasing is impulsive, leading is patient. The man who chases gets drained, the man who leads gets chosen. Women are biologically wired to follow strength, and strength doesn't chase, it attracts. It's time to wake up and stop running behind anyone. Stop begging for validation. The energy you spend chasing could be building your purpose, your vision, your legacy. And once you do, you'll notice something powerful. When your life is in motion, women want to join it. When you have direction, they want to be part of your journey. Leadership doesn't mean arrogance. It means confidence rooted in self-awareness. You're not looking for someone to complete you. You're inviting someone to complement your path. So stop chasing what runs away from you. Start building a life that pulls the right people toward you. When you lead, you don't compete for attention. You become the standard that everyone else tries to meet. 7. Validation. Is her game, not yours. Validation is one of the most dangerous traps men fall into. You might not even realize you're in it, but the moment you start seeking her approval more than your own, you've already lost your power. Women are built to attract validation. It fuels their confidence. It reassures them. It reminds them of their value. But as a man, the more you chase validation, the weaker you become. You see, validation is her arena. She gets it every day through social media, compliments, attention, and constant interest. It's part of her reality. But when a man starts playing that same game, he instantly loses his edge. Because the moment your self-worth depends on how she sees you, you're no longer grounded. You're reactive. Men were never meant to need validation. You were meant to create it, to build it from purpose, discipline, and achievement. That's what gives you quiet confidence. That's what makes your presence respected. But most men today are too emotionally dependent. They live for that text back, that smile, that approval, and when they don't get it, they start doubting themselves. You have to understand, validation is temporary. The same woman who praises you today could ignore you tomorrow. If your self-image crumbles because of that, you were never really in control. A man who masters himself doesn't need to be told he's worthy. He knows it. He doesn't chase recognition. He lets his actions speak for him. This is where most men need a wake-up call. When you play her game, you play by her rules, and you'll always lose. But when you stay grounded, when you validate yourself through growth, consistency, and strength, she feels that energy. That's when she starts chasing your approval. It's not about arrogance, it's about stability. You can love her, appreciate her, compliment her, but never need her validation to feel valuable. Because the moment you stop seeking it, the power dynamic shifts. She starts working for your attention, for your approval, for your presence. Validation should come from one place only, yourself. Every morning, you should wake up knowing who you are, what you stand for, and what you're building. So stop trying to win her approval. Win your own, because the man who validates himself becomes untouchable. And that's the kind of man no woman ever forgets. Controversial conclusion. Here's the truth most men are too scared to hear. Most women will never truly value you until you stop valuing them. Harsh? Yes, but it's real. The moment you stop chasing validation, stop proving your worth, stop bending over backward to please her, that's the moment she starts to see you. Not before, not while you're desperately showing her your effort. And here's something even more controversial. If you keep giving too much too soon, you're teaching her how to take without giving. You're training her to expect, not appreciate. You're creating a world where your presence, your attention, your energy are all considered unlimited resources. And in that world, your worth disappears. I want you to stop for a second and think, how many times have you compromised your time, your peace, or your ambitions for a woman who didn't even recognize it? Comment below and tell me your story. I read every single one. I want to reach out, connect, and help you see where you've been giving away your power without even knowing it. Because here's the kicker. The men who truly master themselves, who build their purpose first, who control their emotions and attention, they don't just get respect, they get choice. And that choice changes everything in the way women see them. So I challenge you, stop seeking approval, stop chasing validation, and start mastering yourself. Let her work to keep up with your energy, not the other way around. And here's the cliffhanger to the next video. You've learned how to make her see your worth, but there's one secret that turns desire into long-term respect that most men completely miss. In the next video, we're breaking that secret down step by step so you can finally stop being taken for granted and start being unforgettable.